Hi, my name is Kylie. Welcome. If you came across this video, you're probably going through a spiritual awakening of some sort. I actually wanted to talk about mine today in hopes that it would help someone that's going through a lot right now and it's not sure what direction to go in, or kind of how to proceed. Um, so when I went through my spiritual awakening at first, I got really confused and I was looking up kind of different religious things that didn't it wasn't the right path. It was organized religion, Christianity to be specific, which I had never really believed in since I was a kid because there's a lot of reasons. My mother wasn't allowed to receive the body of Christ because she was divorced from an abusive man, narcissist. There was a lot of things that clashed with my true beliefs from inside. And so, anyways, that led me down a path that was awful. I ended up going into some really dark stuff and I did not appreciate it. It didn't blend with my beliefs. So, anyways, I ended up seeing a psychic medium, and that sort of put me on the trajectory. A lot of stuff happened. I ended up realizing I had gifts that were locked away. So I'm able to channel the other side. I'm 40 years old, didn't know any of this. It was masked and kept from me for a reason. I had to go through certain things before I was able to unlock these gifts. But my mission is to explain a lot. I won't be able to get to it in one video, but this one I wanted to put out for anyone who's feeling lost because I really did feel very lost for a long time and I had to go through a lot to get to the other side. Um, so if you're not sure which direction you're going in and you're very confused, but there's something more, you're supposed to be doing something more, your soul's like calling to you. You really need to meditate. It's so important. You have to get in touch with that inner self, that inner knowing, the divine, because they will talk to anyone. You don't have to be special to have a relationship with the divine. They will give you signs. They will, I mean, literally anything you ask for the most part, they're capable of. And don't forget, if you have a spiritual awakening, you know that this is a matrix and that we're advertising a video game. So if you look at it that way, does it really seem that impossible that they could set this up to rig it in our favor or communicate with us? No, it doesn't. It's not. It's true. Everything changed since I got in touch with my intuition. Before that, I was making a lot of bad decisions, choosing the wrong people. Um, People that were in my life were abusive and narcissistic and breadcrumbing me. And I had to go through a lot of healing till I got to the other side. But you know what? It was worth it. I it wasn't even that long. I think the whole process was about 6 to 9 months tops. And I'm a new person literally now in this day. Like I don't even recognize myself. Not no one that I'm no one that I know actually recognizes me either. And like I said, there was a lot of deep cleaning, like sweeping of people I needed to do. When I got the veil was lifted and that shit was lifted and I could see everything. I could see the stuff I was dealing with, that putting up with, that was taking from my self-worth. You don't realize, but the people, like, even just making excuses for small things, thinking, oh no, but they're a good person. No, there's a lot of good people that are putting up with bullshit from their family or friends or whatever, that there is no need for it, and that it's, you don't realize, but it's actually taking from your essence. Like, I had no energy. I looked about, I'd say 10, 15 years older. I had weight I could not drop. There was a lot of things, breakouts. I mean, psoriasis, which is still clearing up, to be honest. If you look, yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it's gotten a lot better. Um, Even the breakouts still have, but they're getting better because all these people, um, this is how you'll know. If you feel in your soul, like you feel like, I don't want to do this for this person, but they're guilting me into it. Like, I feel bad though, but because I want to help them because they're so blah blah blah, whatever. Then you're a victim of emotional manipulation. And there was a lot I will get into in future videos, but the point is I wanted to make sure that anyone who's going through what I went through has some resources, like understands what's next. So next thing is to kind of evaluate, well, first of all, get in touch with the divine. They will lead the way. But for me, I'll give you what I did is I figured out what was in my life that shouldn't be, because I was able to see things clearly. I left my job. I was a dental assistant. I left my job. I was in a toxic work environment where it was a two-way street. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about everyone. There were others, and took advantage of my kindness. You know, if people, not everyone is like you or me. If you have a big heart and you're watching this video, if you're having a spiritual awakening, I feel as though you have a big heart. So if you have a big heart, people will take and take and take. And like I said, I've said this before, I don't necessarily blame them fully. I feel like I need to take accountability for the fact that I didn't set the, stage for how I wanted to be treated. But now going forward, that's what I do. I left my job. It was making me miserable. It was the emotionally, physically killing, like draining the life from me. Really, I couldn't do anything outside of work. I would just lay in bed when I was off of work. I barely went food shopping. I mean, really, it sucked the life out of me. But not just that. My father's a narcissist. I let him back in my life. There's a lot of people. I had to clean, do a really deep sweep of people. And to be honest, I have like one person in my family left that I deal with at this point in time. Friends too. Because if you think about it, you are, all right, so if you're at a lower vibration, you're with lower vibrational people. When you awake spiritually and you start, learning and healing, and you start getting higher, vibrationally, those other people aren't going to match with you frequency anymore. So it makes sense that people would drop off. I'm not saying you have to go walk away from your whole family and friends and everything, but what you need to do, in my and not just mine, God's opinion, is to speak to each one individually and say, I need this boundary. Whatever your boundaries are, sit down and write a list of what your core beliefs are. Anything that when you do it, it makes you feel not good about yourself. Whether it be, it could be anything. It doesn't matter. It's whatever personally resonates with you. If people are crossing those, you need to sit down and speak with them and ask them, I'm going to set this boundary going forward because I realize I don't feel good about myself. And if they respect you and they are meant to be in your life, they will respect that boundary. I learned who I could trust and who I could, deal with. And like I said, it wasn't a lot of them. It was one. Um, it's something that's necessary though, because afterwards you realize how much they were living off your life force, for like literally. When I tell you, I swear I will put a before and after picture just to prove. I will get it for the next video. I'll try to find one that kind of shows exactly what was going on. I mean, really, I got some. Yeah. Um, I wanted to get across the seriousness of this subject. It's really, I didn't think it could be this serious. I did not believe that people could be living off my essence and life force, my soul, my auric field. I didn't believe it until I saw it myself. And I also naively believed that everyone was like me and would give as much as I gave, but no, people see that, and it's almost like a shark that smells blood in the water. And I know someone needs to hear this because I wouldn't be called to do it if it wasn't the case. You have to realize that the veil was lifted for a reason, so you can make these changes to your life, these positive changes. And once you do that and you make a relationship with God and the divine, you realize that you really can create the life you desire. There are there's a lot of information on the internet that is bullshit. Some of it has some truth. Some of it, for the most part, it's bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about. Um, you know, I'm going to share a lot about that because I have a direct connection, and I'm absolutely going to get the truth for you, because it's it's going to fuck you up if you don't have the actual guidelines of how to do it. And like I said, connecting directly yourself is so important. everyone has that line of communication that can open if they want. And I think it's important for people like me, whoever I'm speaking with, to also make sure they listen to the intuition and start trusting it. You can test it in different ways. I decided to drive one day to the beach. It's about 35 minutes away. Don't know how to get there without the GPS. I was like, you know what? My intuition's getting stronger. Let's go. I was able to get there through back roads, and I did pull over twice. I have to admit, I lost hope, but I pulled over twice. The first time I realized I was 20 minutes closer to the destination. And then so I kept going. And then I got a little nervous, and I was about to pull over the second time, and I realized I was right up the street. When I tell you they'll give you a sign if you ask for it, they will. So it's so important to really connect, because I felt lost without that connection. I didn't know. I was going in all these directions and they weren't the right directions for me. And it's so important that we really do this, because if you're being called, if you're having a spiritual awakening right now, there's a reason for that. You're being called for a greater purpose. Like this, there's a greater purpose, and God's calling. Are you going to answer? I'm going to do more videos. I'm going to set up I really want to get the right information to the right people. It's important to me to do this because I was there myself and I know how it feels. And I went on the journey alone. And I'm sure a lot of people will be going on that journey alone too, but I promise you it's worth it. All right. I wanted to share this today and I really hope it reaches the right people. But I will be posting more about all these topics, how to get through this, really how to manifest, really how to create the life you deserve and want, about connecting, all of it. All right. Well, I will, subscribe and comment and like. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to ask questions. That's why we're here. All right. Bye.